I want to welcome in meteorologist Mike Masco, who has more on what to expect from this storm as it approaches landfall. Mike, I understand many meteorologists are saying this storm could be a Category 3 when it makes landfall. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so we're looking at that very closely. The troublesome news overnight as we were sleeping was the storm never weakened, and we were actually anticipating this storm to go down to a 4 a lot sooner. So that has delayed things some. And what I'm noticing right now is it's still starting to, go through what's called an eye wall replacement. That's why we're losing the eye here. But if this opens back up, this is going to maintain a Cat 4. So right now the question is intensity and track. The intensity right now, high end 4. High end 3, low end 4. What does that mean? It's really splitting hairs because the impacts are going to be the same if it's a 3 or a 4. The second thing I'm noticing, as of the 8 a.m. advisory, it's now speeding up some. So that means the window of opportunity to get ready for this thing, it's closing very quickly. Right now, northeast at 16. That would put the hurricane force winds into the Tampa Bay area as early as, say, around 4 o'clock this afternoon. We are also watching bands of rain starting to spiral off the north end of this. There's been tornado warnings, guys, and that's another focus here. Is not only is this going to come ashore late tonight, early tomorrow morning, but all day into the night, we're going to be seeing tornadoes spinning off the top of this thing going into Tampa Bay, Sarasota, Fort Myers. Fort Myers already under a tornado warning this morning, and that's going to be the deal all day long. Hurricane force warnings as you go from Crystal River down towards Bonita Springs, just north of Naples. But look at this. Now the east coast of Florida under hurricane warnings from Daytona, just north of West Palm. The reason we have hurricane warnings, guys, on the east coast of Florida is because this is going to accelerate moving all over the state, and that's going to allow for the hurricane force winds to survive the trip. So we could be looking at 70, 80 mile an hour winds as far east as Titusville or Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, all the Space Coast, getting in to the possibility of 70+ mile an hour winds. So it goes downhill quickly this evening into tonight. Again, hurricane force winds as early as, say, around 10 o'clock, and we'll take that right into tomorrow morning. Highest winds, I think, St. Pete's, Clearwater, into Sarasota, even into, say, Port Charlotte. That's where we could be looking at 90 to 110 mile per hour winds. That's sustained with gusts even higher than that. So here's the track. Again, National Weather Service is going to take it right now over Sarasota, but the cone of uncertainty exists from Clearwater down towards Cape Coral. So we can't wave the all clear in Tampa Bay. But if this goes south of Tampa Bay, it's better news. I don't want to say good news. It's better news in terms of storm surge, but we're still talking about a 6 to 8 foot storm surge, which is very similar to what we just went through with the last hurricane. There's your forecast storm surge, Clearwater down towards Cape Coral. This is going to be a historic storm surge, upwards of a foot of coastal inundation. So if you live in, say, an elevation of 3 feet, if you live in St. Pete Beach, for example, we're forecasting upwards of 12. So that means your entire first floor of your home is going to be completely flooded. If you don't have a second story, this is going to be an unsurvivable storm. That's why we have such dire messaging coming out from this. And another thing, it's a perpendicular landfall. We rarely see these storms going from west to east, guys. So you got to go all the way back in the record books. 1921, last time we had a Category 1 storm move from west to east. From this strength standpoint, you have to go all the way back to 1848. So this is something, a once-in-a-generational event for the Tampa Bay area. Send it back to you.
Mike Masco, thank you so much for breaking that down for us. And of course, we are thinking of everyone in Florida. We hope that everyone who needed to already evacuated their homes at this time, because as you mentioned, this is set to hit later on tonight and in the early morning hours of tomorrow. Thanks so much.